Alrighty, everybody.
Another day, another dollar. Outspoken Brotherhood podcast.
We are here.
Yeah.
We are live. I'm decking it out here in my Will Greer jersey from WVU. Mike's got his new bling bling on over here.
I'm supporting the boys at home.
Oh, he's supporting the boys at home. I am as well, actually. And Will Greer just retired. I hope that's false information, but anyway, good career. Here we go. So we are here today again. We're going to pull another topic out of the hat, and I'm going to mix it up. Old Mike gets to draw.
As you notice, the shit in the background hasn't changed.
Man, I hope you draw a sports topic today. I hope you do.
Well, let's see if I am part Irish. Let's see if I got a lucky horseshoe up my ass.
God, here we go.
Let's see here.
Here we go. What is it? Oh, boy.
I don't know how I feel about this topic.
Let's see. Family. We're going to talk about family.
I say we throw that motherfucker back in the hat and pick something else.
Throw it back in there when we're talking about family. Here we go.
Family.
Family it is.
What is your family?
Family. Here we go.
I don't think anybody has a perfect family.
No. Nobody has a perfect family. But here we are. We'll start us off. Since you started us off last time, good old buddy. And you said it best. No family's perfect.
You can pick your friends. You can't pick your family.
There's also another saying out there. You don't have to be blood to be family.
No.
You don't have to be blood to be family.
The people that have, honestly treated me the best in my life, have taken care of me when I've been down, are actually my friends. Family, not so much. And maybe I'm looking at that just from like a financial standpoint or, I'm not going to bash my family too bad in this, but I was a kid that grew up. His father was in prison. His stepfather kind of raised him. My mother always asked for money. There's definitely, even some favoritism between siblings. I felt like once I turned 17, nobody really gave a shit about me. I was kind of on my own since I was 17. It's just kind of the way it is, though. Like, does it make it right? No. But whenever you're brought into a family or you're born, it's a roll of dice what you get. Not everybody, majority of us are not blessed, where we're a Rothschild or a fucking Kardashian or, we're brought into, daddy's an NBA player. Oh, shit. The kids like Bronny James or, those type of kids are fortunate, but not the most of us.
To go straight from that topic, you just brought up a wonderful topic I want to bring up. The one that I like a lot out of all those topics that you just mentioned?
What's that?
I don't know if you know this. You know the country singer Tim McGraw, right?
Yeah, I know Tim.
Did you know his dad's Tug McGraw?
Yeah, I knew that. He was a Philadelphia Phillies pitcher.
He was, and he didn't know for many years.
No,
he got to be
Did
older.
you know Tim McGraw used to have his dad's poster on his bedroom wall?
Yes, he did.
When he was growing up, because he was... Now, I'm a baseball guy.
I am too.
You're throwing some shit at me that I know.
I know.
Not many people know, but I know.
I know it too.
But, Tim McGraw, very famous country singer, very successful one.
Yes, he is.
Do like Tim McGraw, like his music.
I do too.
But he idolized Tug McGraw.
Yeah, he did.
And he grew up not even with the McGraw last name. It wasn't until he got older and learned Tug McGraw was actually his biological father.
I can't remember. Was he in high school? Was he in high school?
I don't know how old he was, Ed.
I don't remember either. I don't remember.
It wasn't until he got older and actually met his father, and his father kind of let him in with open arms.
Yes.
That he adopted the McGraw last name.
Yes.
He had no idea staring at this guy on the wall was actually
his dad.
His dad. which I always thought was a cool story.
I thought it is too.
When I was
watched
growing up.
it too.
So,
And then I enjoyed the song that he made.
And Tug was Tug's dead now. I mean, he died years ago.
Yeah.
But Tug was a pretty badass, decent pitcher.
Oh, he was a hell of a pitcher. He gave us the World Series.
Yeah, if you look at the statistics, I mean, I don't really remember watching Tug growing up. Obviously, I was too young, but
he gave the Phillies a World Series in 1980.
Yeah, so I mean, I was born in '88, so obviously Tug was that era. I was in baseball. I wasn't really watching it on TV live, but I do remember reading that story coming up. Being a baseball player myself, just on a school level, and really actually appreciating that story, to be honest.
Yeah, I love that story too, but we'll dive back into family here.
Yeah, let's get back into this.
And it was good to chat about that for a minute, because we were talking about
how
family.
in the fuck did we draw last episode's alimony and child support? This episode is fucking family.
It all goes together.
It does go together, but I feel like it should have been another topic drawn. Like I'm sick of beating the people that even by chance click on this shit to beat you with a fucking dead horse. Like, all right, family, child support, alimony, fucking marriages.
Hey, it's all what's in this
I'm
head.
just saying, bro. We really do.
Look, there's a lot in there.
We really do just draw. I really do just draw a fucking tag. Even when I seen family, I said, "What the fuck?" So, sorry.
All right,
we'll get back into it.
So let me talk my side for a minute, then we'll dive into what we think family should be. Okay, what should be, if that makes sense.
But there's many perceptions to what that could be.
We'll go from your perspective.
Mine and yours is
two different.
Not going to be the same, but the person next door that live next to us is not going to be the same.
Which is fine. So, here we go. So, family for me, Mike dived into his just a little bit.
I gave you a quick brief.
Yeah, so me, I was born into a family who was highly into the church. We've already talked about that before.
Yeah, you talked about the Mormon
church. Highly into the church.
Look at episodes 1 or 2 if you want to hear that story.
And 3. 3 is what we touched in the 3. But, like I said, grew up in the church. My parents, my family, and then it dived into a divorce. I met my stepfather when I was 5 years old. Mom married when I was like 7 or 8.
I was probably 8 when I met my stepfather.
So I love that song by Brad Paisley. He didn't have to be.
Oh, dude, you know what's funny? Is when I listen to that song, I think of my stepdad too.
My too. That's how I feel about my stepfather.
I do. I honestly, I used to listen to that growing up and think about my stepdad.
Me too, and I still listen to that song to this day because
whatever happened to fucking Brad Paisley? Is he still around?
He's doing another tour this year.
Goddamn, he's still around?
But he's not doing much, is what I'm saying. Well, he's got like small tours.
What does the guy have to do? He made so many hits.
He already made his hits. He made his money. You know, he's still doing tours.
Listen, anyway, you know them checks are still hitting the bank. So
he's a West Virginia boy too. So anyway.
Is he really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was born in the northern Panhandle.
I bounced around from Ohio and Kentucky. You all know that, but I've said that in the past. But yeah, West Virginia. Me and Ed were neighbors, so
we were neighbors growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, like the family. So grew up in the church, got a divorce, met my stepfather. And that song really hit me hard. I'm sure it hit you hard, Mike.
It did. It really did.
It hit me hard. I'm glad Brad Paisley did that song. It's a lot different from his other songs, but I'm not taking anything away from Brad. But that song was amazing when I was a kid, because it came out when I was a kid.
Oh,
so it was like
me too.
I'm like, wow, this song came out. But anyway, so like, met my stepfather. Grew into my stepfather's family. They took me in as their own, just like my stepfather did. And I really feel that's what step families should do. I think you should take advantage of that.
You know, here's the thing, bro, is all my kids have stepdads. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them. I'm not with any of my children's parents. I have 2 baby mamas. Mm-hmm. But listen, because I grew up the way I did, and I had a stepfather that was really inspirational to me. When my father couldn't be, because he was obviously, like I said, incarcerated.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
He can't behave. But he's still ornery. And me and him got closer, and so I'll deep dive into that here in a little while. But my stepfather was very instrumental in my upbringing. My real father, not so much. My real father wasn't instrumental to me until I kind of hit early adulthood. When he was out of prison, when me and my mother and my father were not, or my mother and my stepfather were not, I was out of the house. I didn't really have that much support. That's when my real father kind of stepped in.
Yeah.
And me and him really kind of bonded. It wasn't until my 20s, though, Ed. It really wasn't until like my late teens, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, that me and my real father did bond. And we did throughout my life. We'd go a couple years without talking, just because, like, when I hit my adult year, my teenage years, and you got that piss and vinegar in you. You know what I'm talking about. And we would beef. We'd go a couple years without talking because of pride. Pride's a thing.
Yeah, it is.
And we'd always make up. And hell, I just recently reconnected with my dad. He's back in prison. Surprise, surprise. But he's in his mid-50s now. But we just started talking recently again, but we always had that pattern. It'd be a few years, it was like, fuck you. We were mad at each other. And then, like, we'd get close again, and, But I will say this about my real father, and I will not take this away from him. He wasn't really there for me as if you watch TV or TV shows or movies or what you think a typical family should be, he was never there for me in that aspect. But in my darkest times, and I'm talking when Mike was fucking down, and I reached out. Let me tell you something about my real dad. He was fucking there. And because he had a rough life, and whatever I was going through, that motherfucker picked me up. I remember when I left my ex-wife, and this is a true story. It was Thanksgiving 2022. Or me and my ex-wife separated. Really, we were leaving each other. I found out she had a new man behind my back, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I told her, she's going to her parents. I'm keeping the house, at least I thought. Fucking, listen to the last episode to hear how that went. But, I go to my dad's bar because my dad's a bar owner at that time. My dad's always been a cowboy. And he rode bulls. My real dad rode bulls when he got out of prison the first time. And he was on the cowboy circuit. He never PBR, but always, local state Ohio and Indiana rodeos. Was a damn good bull rider. And he even got me into bull riding when I was young.
Awesome!
But I remember when I was going through my divorce, I went to my dad's bar. I got a ride down there. And I just remember I walked in his bar. He was behind the bar. He looked at me. He seen the expression on my face. Because I was going through hell. I ain't gonna lie. And I remember he said, how much money you got? My wife at that time had froze all the bank accounts. Thanksgiving morning, I realized the bank accounts, the joint accounts we had. If you're with a spouse, do not have joint accounts. Have separate. Listen to the last episode to understand that more. But what I'm saying is, I just remember him saying, son, I understand. Him just sliding me beers from morning till close. I was there, just him sliding me beers, him giving me a pep talk, what he went through, trying to help me out. Things weren't always bad. Things weren't always great. Majority of the time, things weren't always great. But what I'm trying to say is, things aren't always bad. And I look at those small moments we did have where we could relate, and he did give me some advice to help me or pick me up. I do at least appreciate that.
Well, to continue what you were saying, my father was absent majority of my childhood. I don't sit here and say he's a bad guy. I think he's a good guy. I just think he's a bad father. That is my take.
Yes, not everybody's a good father.
No, and that's just my take on my biological father.
You don't have to be a good guy to be a good father. You could be,
No, not at all. And
a bad guy, be
no,
a good father.
No, I think he's a good guy. I just don't think he's a good father. That's my thing.
Let me ask you this, Ed. How many times have you actually got to hang out with your dad through the course of your life? Are we talking like At one point in time, was it a regular thing? Has it been only like 20 times you've seen the guy, 50 times you've seen the guy? Give me an estimate. Like how many times do you touch base throughout the week on the phone? Like, tell the audience a little bit more if you're going to deep dive.
Well, now that I've got older, Mike, as an adult, we talk every day or every other day on the phone, but it's not what you think. There's usually two things we talk about. It's usually sports or politics.
Yep. It's
one of the two things or both. And it's very short and sweet on how you're doing. And he never necessarily asks how I'm doing, which kind of bothers me in a way. But then again, I understand guys really don't talk about that. But it would just be nice to say, hey, what's going on? That would be nice if he did that once in a while. But I understand men don't talk about that.
Even my father in prison does that. He calls me every other day just to check up on me. But I'll tell you something weird. This is what I find weird. Even though my dad was really kind of absent throughout my childhood because of incarceration.
Yeah, but he was there for your ex-wife.
Well, he was there through some, not just my ex-wife. He did step in when he knew I was going through some shit, and there's been a few times in my life I went through some shit. It seemed like my deepest, darkest times, oddly, he did somehow step into the picture to render some type of aid or advice, which is really weird, but I will tell you this. When I was growing up as a child, I hated my father.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't there. And I wanted my stepfather to be my real father. Yeah. And this is true. This is true. But I will tell you this. It's weird because I try to do everything opposite of my real father. He was a criminal most of his life, in and out of jail, in and out of prison. He was a construction worker outside of that. He did have a modest life, and actually later in life did become a decent business owner when he did come into some money. But what I will say is this is, although I try to do those opposite things and I try to resent my father because a kid doesn't understand, and I'm growing up listening to Eminem and just I'm trying to relate with people that are going through the same shit that I'm going through because I want to know the guy. I do, but he's not there.
Hey, I've always wanted to know my dad.
But I will put it to you this way, in some weird way, Ed, and this is true. If you look at my dad and you look at me, our personalities, our mannerisms, the way we act, even though I try to do the opposite. He was a criminal, I was a cop, blah, blah, blah. I look at it today at my age, and if you look at us, we're actually the same person.
Right.
In some weird way, even though I tried to avoid that, like, our logical thinking is very similar. Our humor is very similar. Just those mannerisms, and I don't know if DNA plays a part in that, or like they say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But it is weird that from a person that at one time when I was young I resented and tried to be nothing like. In the end, it's like going down two different paths. And meeting back at the crossroad, we are very similar, which is shocking.
Well, I can't really think of any times my dad has been there for me, my biological dad. There is one thing I'll give him credit for. Well, two things, I think. Two things. He did taught me how to shave. Okay. My biological father did teach me how to shave.
You got to shave your nuts. Is that not what he taught you how to shave?
Oh, God.
Are we talking fade? What are we talking about? You got to be more specific with the audience now.
Bro, this right here, he taught me how to shave this.
Ah. Well, a good father would have taught you how to shave your nuts, because I've cut myself a few times, and no father ever tried.
No, wait a minute. I'm not going to ask. This is never a podcast. I'm not going to ask that one. But anyway. Anyway, we're going to move on from that one. So that one, he did teach me how to shave. The second thing, I'm not going to call out the rest of my family, but my father, biological father, look at me. He was there for me when I got put into the Hall of Fame for the American Youth Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
Oh, he wanted to be there.
He was there.
Yeah.
That was the only thing he was ever really there for. He was there when I graduated high school and college. That's a little bit different, but like, I think being put in the Hall of Fame for something was much more special than me graduating from school, if that makes sense. To me, as a man, I'm speaking. Because if I'm leaving schooling, I just expect you to be there as a parent. But like, it's not every day you're put into a Hall of Fame. It's not. It's not.
And
every
I've always
day.
commended you for that. And I think that's a great achievement.
Yeah. So
It's a fun story to listen to sometimes if we ever let Ed tell that story.
Yes.
But it's not for this podcast.
no, but like my dad was the only one.
Episode.
My dad was the only one there.
That's cool.
I give him credit. He was the only one there. When everybody hated my passion for the sports and everything like that, that's a different topic. But like I said, we will definitely talk more about that in other episodes.
Yeah, we'll take a deep dive.
And I will talk more about my stepfather here in a second. Alrighty. So my stepfather, Mike.
Yep.
More of a father than my real father. Not taking nothing away from him.
It usually happens.
But
It's not normal in today's
no.
world.
But my stepfather had a thing where if you tell the truth, you won't get in trouble as much.
I like that philosophy, though.
If you told, I mean, you're going to get in trouble, but you're not going to get in trouble. And there's going to be times if it's stupid, you're not going to get in trouble.
I think I share that with my own kids.
Like,
honestly. I like
for an example, I remember one time I come home, I wrecked a four-wheeler. I was so upset. I'm like, shit, my parents are going to be pissed. I wrecked the four-wheeler. Well, I get home. I told my stepfather. He was in the garage working his second job. And it was the weekend. So he's doing his second job in the garage working on cars. I looked at him and he goes, what's wrong with that four-wheeler? And I go, well, and he goes, well, tell me the truth. I'm like, okay. I wrecked the four-wheeler. Tire rod is broke. And I go down to the house. He goes, oh, okay. That's all he said. I'll never forget. He said, oh, okay. Go down to the house. I tell Mom what happened. She runs up to the garage. I'll never forget it. She runs to the garage, Mike. My mother runs to the garage. Did you hear what happened? He goes, yeah. He goes, I think he should be in trouble. And my stepfather goes, why would he be in trouble? And my mom goes, he wrecked the four-wheeler. And my stepfather goes, he told me the truth. He wrecked the four-wheeler.
shit happens.
Why? And he said, shit happens. He said, why should he be in trouble?
Yeah.
We're going to fix it. It'd be different if he'd come home and lied about wrecking the four-wheeler, but he told me point A to point B. What happened? I'll never forget that argument them two had. And then them two had a fight about it.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. It was comical. I'll never forget it. So, like, me and my stepfather's relationship from that point changed. Because I never went to my stepfather for anything, but at that point I did.
Yeah, there's always a changing point.
So I remember that happened. That was like middle school, early high school years.
Yeah, that's usually when you start bonding with them. You resent them in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you start bonding with them later on.
Yeah, so then later on, we kind of developed that bond, like you just said, Mike.
Yeah.
We did 8th grade night. I told my dad no, not to be there, so it was me and my stepfather and my mom.
Well, you just told me that your motherfucking father was never there, and now you're telling him you're denying him Friday night.
This was 8th grade night, and he had never been there. This was the first time he wanted to be there, and I told him no.
Yeah.
I did. I told him no.
That's a little bit on you, though.
That is on me.
Playa.
I did tell him no.
Yeah,
but in all,
I was like that too. Like when I was growing up, like when my dad wanted to take me places, and I knew like my mom or my stepdad had a problem with it, I always tried to separate the two because I didn't want to see I didn't want to see a fight, or I didn't want to see, I didn't want to deal with the emotions between both of them all. So I get it. I kind of did the same.
I know why I said no, Mike, though. And it's because he wasn't really in my life. Like, he didn't know me that much. He never got me a lot. Like, really, the only time he got me was during the holidays and sometimes in the summer. So
Well, at the same time, Ed,
yeah,
you got to
I
look at
did
it like
tell
this.
him no.
At least, even though it wasn't consistent,
Yeah, it wasn't consistent.
every now and then, he at least made the effort. Some fathers never make the effort.
He did make the effort, and I give him credit for that. But my stepfather just played a big role in my life.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget 8th grade night, not 8th grade night, senior night. And that was a tough one.
Yeah.
That was a big argument between my parents. Me, I was in the middle of it because I'm the son.
Oh, the child's always going to be in the middle of it.
And I'm in the middle of it, and it was.
And you're trying to make both sides happy. That's the sad thing. You're trying not to disappoint anybody, because I've been in them situations when I was young. And that's not easy.
No.
Because once people break up, they don't want to see each other again.
And I thought about it long and hard. This is what I told.
It's not right to the kids, though.
No, and this is what I told my dad. Because we were playing his high school team. We were playing against his high school team. His high school team and my high school team were big rivalries.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the biggest rivalry that game, but it's a big rivalry. Next county over. And last game of the year, last game of the season at home. You know how that drama is. We were playing football. But any sport, but I was playing football. And I'll never forget it. I told my father, and mind you, my family went at it.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm the one who said what should happen. I told my biological father this. I said, look, Dad, I love you. I don't know you. I mean, I know you enough that you're my dad. But I do want you in my life. I don't feel you've earned the right to walk the field with me senior night. I do want you at the game. But my stepfather and my mom is walking me on the field. And I remember that was a very difficult topic, very difficult decision to make. And my father's response to that, my biological father's response, hit me hard.
What'd he say?
He said he's not showing up to the game.
Well.
And he didn't, but that was his choice. He didn't show up. But I told him, I said, I want you there. It's just, you haven't really been in my life. I know you've tried, but I don't feel like you've earned it to walk the field with me. But I do want you there, because I do respect you and I want you there. And I understand parents act differently in different situations, but he was just absent and inconsistent way too much, like you said. So that's why I did what I did.
Yeah, and kids, they're gonna hold some type of resentments.
Yeah.
Things like that, unfortunately. Because when you're young and you're a kid, like I said this previously, you don't understand.
No, we don't. And I wish my dad could have been at the game. We was playing against his high school.
And I wish even separated parents and families could get along to be there for the child. But
I do too.
That's not always the case either. And I've made calls like that in my life where it's like, oh, I don't want my mom and my real dad in the same room. I want to avoid that, and I want to try to make everybody happy. And at the end of the day, you can't always make everybody happy, unfortunately. And you got to make some tough calls, even as a kid, even though you don't understand and you think you understand. Like, I'll put it to you this way, Ed.
Yeah.
I was in your boat when I was a kid with my real dad until I got older and lived through some of the same situations he lived through. And then I feel like I kind of got to understand him more.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. And I realize why he chose some of the paths or some of the decisions he made. And I was like, I get it now. But that really didn't come until I was in my probably my mid-20s.
It happens, yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. Even though I told you earlier, I'm trying to, when I was young, I was not trying to be like this guy, but in some weird way, I'm going through the same things, trials and tribulations that he went through, and it's hard.
Yeah,
it is hard, and even having kids of my own now.
Yeah.
I want to say I understand a little more, but when you're a kid and you have no life experience, you don't understand a fucking thing, and that's just the reality.
So there's two things I want to. There's a few things I want to say before we get to the second half of our show here. Mm-hmm. A very pivotal moment in my life that was very meaningful and valued to me in the long term and perspective was when my stepfather was there for me after we won the game senior night. He was on the field. He come down to give me a hug, put his arm around me, and he said, "I'm proud of you, son."
Yeah, I've had that moment with my stepdad.
And that still sticks with me to this day, and I wish I could get that hug again, and he's no longer here. I know he is here for me spiritually, but I feel that moment meant so much to me as a child. Because my father was absent, and I'm not saying I don't agree or disagree with what he did, but like my stepfather really played a big role, and I feel that's why I've become so close with my stepfather from that moment on. Like I knew then he was there for me,
yeah.
And that made me feel wonderful, and I know my mother went through a lot. I love my mother dearly. I know she could be a difficult person at times, just like any other mothers can be difficult, but we still love them, don't we, Mike, even though they're difficult?
She's probably going to be watching this
episode. I'm sure she is. That's why I said they can be difficult, but I love them.
Expect a very fuck you phone call.
Well, she knows she has her issues. We've talked about it, I love her. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be a mommy's boy growing up because I had my stepfather.
Well, it's weird because I was a mommy's boy growing up too, and then I drifted towards like a daddy's boy with my stepfather and my real father later in life.
Yes.
Even though, but let's dive into this. I want to change the topic. I want to talk about family values.
Yes.
How we grew up. So one thing me and you were kind of talking about earlier is family values. Like when you were growing up, or at least I was, I'll just name them. Every Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, me and the family, we all met up at my great-grandmother's house. And this was all my cousins, my parents, my aunts, my uncles.
Oh, God, everybody
met up, and we would have dinner. Like, let's say it's Christmas. We'd have Christmas dinner. Me and the cousins would wrestle, all night, and then we'd open up presents, and everybody would go home.
God, I miss those days.
I don't really see families doing that anymore. And I only say this, like, after my great-grandmother died, she was almost like the glue that kind of held her whole family together. It was my mother's side. Obviously, my dad was incarcerated. But that side of the family, we would all meet up for all the holidays, do Easter egg hunts, Christmas dinner, presents, Thanksgiving, everybody meet, say what they're grateful for.
Well,
my kids don't do that nowadays, and I don't see most kids go through that nowadays.
Buddy.
I think it's a generational thing within those families.
Buddy.
Like, if you were born, I would say after 1995, 1999, you had that, and then now, not so much.
Buddy, there's a lot of reasons why families don't. And I can share.
Oh, the drama.
But I could share a few reasons
political
why.
Divide nowadays plays a part in that too.
Play back to our episode 2 where we're divided.
Episode 2. Listen, because half my family's the same way. It's like now everybody nowadays fights over politics. Once upon a time,
Used to not do that.
you did not do that. That did not exist, and everything that was reported on the news you thought was factual because it's
Yeah.
called the news.
There's I could tell you several reasons why there's family separations from traditional values. I'm going to say them all.
Yeah,
I'm going to say them all.
Yeah, go ahead, say yours. But I also think it's really a generational thing because I think these generations, our generation, just doesn't appreciate those values.
But you want to know why?
Like our past,
you want to know why?
Grandparents, great grandparents did.
There's reasons why.
Yeah, okay, go ahead now.
Our parents and their parents, I don't care where you're at down the line, there was an immediate family member. In my situation, it was my grandparents. In your situation, it was your grandparents.
Actually, my great
grandparents.
My great grandmother,
so,
actually.
Let me just say this.
Because my great grandfather died before I was born.
So when those family members passed away who kept those values and traditionals and morals alive, when they passed away, the other people didn't step up to the plate to fill those roles.
I agree with that.
That those other family members did.
I agree with that.
That's part of the issue. Not the whole issue. That's part of the issue. The next issue, you already touched on it. It's politics.
Politics.
The other thing is religion.
Religion.
COVID. COVID was a big thing.
COVID fucked families
COVID
up.
was a big thing.
I remember Fauci even said, do not go to Thanksgiving dinner. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
That was a huge fucking deal. Like, do not get together. Do not spread these germs. Do not spread this virus.
Bro, speaking of family,
I'm
going to say this.
Okay.
I wasn't allowed to go over because I didn't take the vaccination shots for COVID. I wasn't allowed to go over. And then on my political views, I wasn't allowed to go over to certain people's houses.
And again,
are you fucking kidding me?
I want to remind people on this show.
Yes.
Because we may have people close to us that watch us.
Yes.
We're not on one side or the other. This is a fair space. This is just opinion.
Yes.
We are not trying to tell you people what is right, what is wrong. This is just a social podcast, social conversation with our opinions.
Yes.
So go on.
But I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm not allowed to come over because I didn't take the COVID shots.
Yeah, some people thought if you didn't have that shot that you were going to bring those cooties.
Or because I voted one way and you disagree and I'm not allowed over. Like, what's your problem? Like, you need to get over yourself, bro.
Well, at the same time, bro.
You get over yourself.
I respect everybody's values and opinions.
I do too.
But at the same time, when you are casting stones at somebody because their opinion is, I don't want to get a vaccine that is a new experimental vaccine, brand new to the market. And by the way, I know people that died from taking that fucking vaccine. But
I do too. I do too. I know.
That's another conversation for another time.
I know like 2 or 3 people.
But my opinion was, I didn't want to take it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm unvaxxed. If you want to stay away from me, cool.
Cool.
If you want to dab it up and go shoot some pool at the bar, cool. Whatever. I'm not going to judge you because you took it or you didn't take it.
Correct.
But that's another podcast topic.
I didn't take the shot either.
Back to the family values. Back to the family values.
I didn't take the shot either, and I can tell you why I didn't take it, and I told you why.
Everybody's looking at these past few podcasts we did, and they're like, motherfucking right-wingers. I'm just saying. But
I can tell you why.
That's not my stance. I don't care what you are.
I can tell you why I didn't take it. I'm not going to give out sensitive information
or
confidential information, but I can tell you the basics. Based on health and health situations, and based on conversations I've had with doctors and my own research, is why I didn't take it.
Well, doctors were pushing that shit.
Well, they were
told to push that shit, and they were getting paid.
Well, they were, but I'm saying based on my health situation.
Do you take any vaccines?
Like,
do you get a flu vaccine? Do you get anything? I don't either.
No,
I don't either, and I don't really get sick.
I took the flu shot once, and I was sicker than a dog.
Dude, I took the flu shot once. It was with my Mike is not a hound dog. It was with his first baby mama, but. when she was pregnant, she was like, the doctor says we should get her flu shots. That was the last time. I didn't have vaccines since I was a kid, but in my adulthood, I got one flu vaccine, and that was when my son was about to be born. Because they were telling you don't want to spread, sickness, whatever, to the baby.
Yeah.
But that is the only time I ever did that.
I took the flu shot once, and I was sicker than a dog for 2 weeks.
Sick,
I was sick for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I took the shit.
But now, when it comes to the COVID shot, for me, it was a health decision to make between me and my doctor and my own research. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you why I didn't, but that's the main reason. It was all medical stuff.
Mikey's all natural, herd immunity. I'll take that sickness one time, and I'll let my autoimmune system fucking build a immunity to it.
Well,
we're diving off this topic. Back to family fucking values, Thanksgiving turkey, Christmas presents, Easter egg hunts, all that good shit from the past generations we had before that you don't really see today. And I think this will be we'll touch back on this whenever we draw that, because I know there's that past times, modern times topic in the hat. That would be a good one to bring up for that
like
podcast,
I said, families used to meet for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, families used to be there for each other.
Easter, oh my gosh.
I mean, like, hey, you're broke down the side of the road? I'm on the way.
Bro, you need $20? Here's $20.
Here's 20.
Bro, here's the electric bill money. You need electric.
We're family.
We're family.
Now it's like we're family. Fuck you. Like, what? Like, dude, I hate to say this, but the only family member that I am really close to, I am close to, like, me and him,
your mom and dad,
are like, fuck them. No. But I'm saying, like, the only family member that I am really, like, I care about, I'd be there tomorrow for, I know he would probably be there for me, would be my brother. I have one brother, I have 4 siblings, but one brother that is 12 years apart from me. He's my younger brother, but we have the same birthday. We got really close when he hit his adulthood. I remember taking him to the titty bar on his 18th birthday. I was turning 30. That's another time for another. Yeah, that's another story for another time. But my brother, me and him, not only do we work together, we work multiple jobs together. We are very close, and that is the only family member I have now in 2026. Out of all my cousins and all my aunts, uncles, whatever.
That's blood.
That's blood that I am really that close to.
Okay.
I mean, my dad calls me every couple of days. My stepdad maybe every month to check in on me, even though him and my mom aren't together anymore. My mother, I never hear from her unless she needs something. That's just the way it goes, man. And I mean, I try to contact my kids every other day, talk to them, see what's going on in their life. But really, the only family member, I'm closer to my friends. I'm closer than Ed than I am any family member currently, besides Chandler. So I mean, oh shit, it says his name on there. But maybe you know what's funny, when he comes over on Thursday and we play that game, maybe before the game we have him as a special guest on the next topic, and he can sit in the middle. We can all do.
That'll be later down the line with you guys. He'll be one of our guests.
Yeah, it'll definitely be one of our guests.
I'm surprised you mentioned my name, how close we are. I feel like we got that Corey-Sean relationship from Boy Meets World. That's how I feel.
I'd definitely be Sean. You agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, like, I just remember everybody take me back to the better days.
Yeah, families were a lot closer than they are now.
I'll never forget, I was the youngest one in the family at the time, so I only remember...
I was the oldest out of the cousins.
I only remember certain things.
Yeah.
But this is what I remember. Everybody met at Grandma and Grandpa's
Everybody's.
house.
All my great-grandmother, same.
Everybody met at Grandma and Grandpa's
Everybody.
house. We had aunts, uncles, cousins.
Oh, dude. And the food.
Oh,
yeah.
the food! Oh.
Let me tell you something. Everybody bringing a different dish.
Oh, yeah.
You know, your aunt's bringing the fucking honey spiraled ham. Your uncle, he's bringing the fucking, the mac and cheese. You know, your older cousin, blah, blah, blah. She's an adult. She's bringing the green bean casserole.
Yep. Yeah.
all that shit.
Yes.
But dude, it was some of the best eating.
Oh my God,
Oh
we
my
ate so
God,
good for
ate
days.
so good, bro.
I had family that come in for a week at a time for these holidays, and we'd
Yeah.
spend time together. We'd do shit together.
Yeah.
We'd fuck around with. I mean, we would do all kinds of shit.
You don't
together.
really see that shit nowadays.
No.
Everybody's kind of doing their own thing.
No, we did all.
It's like, hey, you want to get together for the holidays? Yeah, fuck you, I'm working.
No, we did all kinds of things.
Me
together growing
and
up.
the immediate family, the husband and the kid are gonna do something, but
Yeah.
to meet the whole family, like it's a family family reunions. Bro.
I've never had one.
I had.
Really?
I had many
Wow.
when I was a kid.
I've never had one.
Family reunions used to be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they still fucking exist.
I don't know if they do either.
Hey, listen
That
out
would be
there.
great to
Listen
have
out
one.
there. If you guys actually run across this video and you actually watch to the end of this motherfucker and just heard me talk, I want you to comment. Do you have family reunions?
Yeah, do
they
you?
still exist?
Yes.
Because my family, it was I want to say, and this was when I was a kid. It kind of died when I got into my teenage years. But when I was a kid, and I'm talking small kid, I'm related to a bunch of Campbells. If you're a Campbell, motherfucker, reach out, see if we're related. But
Are
Campbell's...
you kidding to me?
No.
That's my new stepfather's last name.
We have a lot to talk about. Anyway, my mother's maiden name is Campbell. Okay, so the Campbells,
Fuck!
and they're across the nation. I have Campbells that live in Ohio, Tennessee, West Virginia, California. So when I was a kid, the Campbells used to have a family reunion every 4 years. So we would meet in usually Tennessee. It would usually be Gatlinburg or somewhere like that. Or we'd meet out in another city, but everybody would come in.
Mike.
Usually we would take a God damn it, I'm telling a story, Ed. We'll get to this in a minute if we're fucking related or not, okay, by marriage. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I'm telling a story. Anyway, we would drive. My family used to like to drive. We didn't like to fly. I still don't like to fly. But we'd hop in my grandfather's van, Mike Campbell. He's dead now, rest in peace. But we'd hop in his old van. And this thing was built like a fucking tank. We'd go drive hours to a city. We'd all get together with all these Campbells across the nation, and we would have a family reunion. And it was like a weekend event, and we would do that, and people would bring food, and we would talk, and we would meet relatives we never met before, and see what they did for a living and what they were like, and maybe we'd keep in touch. But that used to be a thing, was family reunions, and I probably haven't been to one since... I was probably 10 or 11 or 12 years old, but and I remember going to these things. I'm 38 now, but people had the old school fucking camcorders. But
Awesome.
Yeah. So, new cousin, what's going on?
I feel like we're distant cousins now all of a sudden.
Well, through marriage, you said it's your stepfather. But...
Yeah, but you never know. But he's from Virginia, so who knows?
Now listen, we had Campbells from Virginia. I'm just saying.
What part?
Oh fuck, I don't know. Dude. Do you know how many fucking Campbells would show up to this family reunion? Like, it'd be like fucking 70 or 80.
Anyway,
I don't know where they're from or where all they're from. It's just like, hi, my name's Mike. Oh, you're Susan? Oh, you're like my great aunt fucking second removed? Nice to fucking meet you. Have a wonderful fucking day. Your potato salad was fucking excellent. Thank you.
Anyway, it would be great if, we did have family reunions more. We came back together as families.
But, the weird thing is, isn't everybody related in some fucking way? Like, down the bloodlines, it's like maybe me and you had, like, a fucking fourth generation grandparent that was, like, a second cousin removed or some shit.
Who the fuck knows?
Who the fuck knows?
Who the fuck knows? We're all... Well, wait a minute.
Who the fuck knows?
Well, wait a minute. We're all related somehow because of Adam and Eve.
But if you're on a religious path, yes. I think if that is true, then we're all incest, and maybe that's why I am a little dumb at times. But at the same time, go on.
But no, like I was saying, I wish we would get back to those family traditions and family values.
Yeah, because my kids, I can tell you right now, don't have that. I think they do like an Easter egg hunt at their grandparents once a year, but the amount of times you get together and the amount of times...
Yeah, we did Easter egg hunts, we had Thanksgiving dinners, we had Christmas dinners.
You had the big three.
We even had birthday parties.
Well, we had birthday. That wasn't really like a big family event.
Yeah, but we
So
still had family over.
I call it the big three, like the NBA, the big three. We had the big.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Those were the big three. Those
and
were
sometimes New Year's. Sometimes New Year's.
No, we didn't do New Year's.
Sometimes.
No, that was me and my immediate.
But
family
I remember walking out
I'd
of
sneak in some beers.
But I remember when I was a little boy growing up, I'd walk out in the living room. I'd actually step and walk over my cousins. They were all laying on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm up. Let's go do something." They'd go yell at me, "No, we're sleeping." I'm like, "Really? I'm ready to go." It's early in the morning. Like, let's go. Like, I was that little kid who would try to wake everybody up. It was so hilarious when I was a kid. But, oh, boy, those were some good days. Good days. But yeah, I mean, I wish we would bring back family traditions.
I do too.
I think it was so more meaningful than what it is now.
It's not the same way now.
No,
in modern times, and like I said, that's another subject for another day. Old modern times. But what I will say is this, just to kind of, I'll leave my lasting comments, and then you can take it over, Ed, and we can end this. But I will say, I do think my kids are living in a different era than I was living in. I think when I was coming up, I think family traditions and family values were meant a little more than they do in today's times. I don't think a lot of people appreciate them. And another thing is, a lot of people are too busy to appreciate them, especially with the cost of living and, people having 2 jobs or this and that. They don't have that type of time. Especially everybody's got so much crazy stuff going on in their lives. It's just hard to kind of pull back from that, get together, and just that's what I think. I definitely lived through the shift. Maybe you were born in that right era where you did kind of come where I'm from and you've seen the shift. Because I seen what it used to be like when I was a kid with most families, and I see what it's like now. And I don't think it's anything remotely the same. I think my kids, honestly, will grow up in a world when they're my age. I don't think I would recognize the type of culture or the type of family values or things they live through on a daily basis than what I'm living through now.
This is what I want to say to finish up our show.
End it up. End it.
I'm going to hit this pretty hard. Some of you can be mad. Some of you can disagree.
All right, new cousin Eddie. Hit it.
Love that. But I think people should take time to be with family. I think we should take time to put each other first like we used to back in the old traditional ways. I'm not necessarily saying you need to take time out of your own life or work schedule because everybody's got to work in this modern day era.
You have to.
But what I'm saying is, I think people have misunderstood the meaning, and you've heard of this before, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think people recognize the meaning of family. I don't think people realize morals and values and respect and their heritage. I don't think they realize where they come from.
Heritage is a big one that people forget about.
And who they want to be with. And I wish we can get back to the old ways where we can all come together as one and stop this divide like we talked about in episode 2. And I think we just need to come together, be together, put each other first. Like, this is all I'm saying, okay? Let's start out small. I've said this before. I've told Mike this before. Let's start out small. I have a cousin tomorrow calls up Ed. How's your life right now? That would be a wonderful start. That would be a wonderful start.
Not just family, but even friends.
Oh,
in that topic. Like, every now and then we just need to check on each other.
We have to. You have to check
everybody's
on each other.
so self-absorbed. Yes. That's the key word, self-absorbed.
Like, try to be there for each other. Like, you may not be able to do nothing. Yeah. I respect that.
Listen, I can listen.
But just to call and check and listen.
I can be your lighthouse.
Exactly.
Okay?
Somebody I can vent to.
Yeah. I can be the light even if you're going through a dark time or a down time. Okay? Yes. I can listen, and I'm always down to listen. But on that note.
Yes, we are going to finish this up. I will give Mike's final take on it before we finish these.
Broke the seal, took a piss.
So I'll let you finish with it, the final word, and then I will come back to my final word.
All right, so folks, like I said, this is a new podcast, and we do appreciate you listening. If you've listened to any of the other episodes, it's in our channel log. Leave a comment, put a thumbs up, subscribe. We're just two guys that live together that, oftentimes just sit around after work because we do both work a lot, and we just drink beer and bounce off ideologies and conversations off each other. So we wanted to kind of do that on camera and see if maybe, anybody even wants to join. It doesn't matter if it's one person, 10 people, 50 people, 100 people. Listen, we like making conversation. I'd like to hear your views. If you like to hear ours, you took the time to listen if you did get to the end of this video, or you're just genuinely curious. But I just want to say I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Me and old cousin Eddie might actually be family now. Come to find out in this podcast, that was a new revelation. That was kind of cool. But that's all I got for you, folks.
But yes,
we'll see you on that next episode.
We will finish this up right here. I thank you all. Your all support means a lot to us. I hope you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share our thoughts, share our views, talk to everybody about us, hit us up, share us out there, get the good word out there. And we will see you next time, and I hope everybody has a wonderful time with this show. Me and Mike have a wonderful time with it.
It's almost like therapy.
And this is wonderful therapy time. And I want y'all to know, me and Mike just want to have a wonderful conversation with you all every time we get on the air. And don't forget this. You got to be real with each other and be honest with each other. Have a good one.